Today's show is sponsored by Indie Film Hustle's Filmmaker process. We provide filmmakers with professional services to get their films or series funded, finished, and distributed. For more information, go to filmmakerprocess.com. As a director, how do you work with such a massive, not only crew, but just hundreds, if not thousands of people that might be in front of the lens sometimes? How can you, because I have when I'm directing a scene, or I'm directing a scene with 4 or 5 people in a room, and you're just trying to keep hold of 2 or 3 cameras and making sure everyone's, just trying to take the narrative. How can you even grasp that mass?
I know this is going to sound a little bit fatuous, but I think it's just as hard to direct a scene with 5 people in a room as it is with 500. I think, when you have 500, it's about your canvas. What is on your palette? And in some odd way, there's more to photograph when there is 500 people out there. Right. You can juxtapose, what's that Meyerholt phrase? You can never be too close nor too far away. I mean, you have the long shot, you have the great scale thing, which then juxtaposes to a close up. You have a kind of palette that is exciting, action certainly, particularly action where there is stakes that are emotional, where you're not looking at action for its own sake, but you're actually following the story, and that action has a purpose with that story that you're telling with that individual actor or that set of actors. And part of it is a thing that I never thought I would be well suited for at all, was having a certain amount of patience. I mean, there have been days when you arrive at 5:30 in the morning, and then about 5 hours later, 6 hours later, the AD says, "Okay, that's lunch," and you haven't got a shot. And okay, and you're getting, and now it's 3 p.m, and you're convinced that you're going to get fired and you're going to have to lose shooting days. You have to, some confidence that you're going to then accomplish when you do those things, the things that you want, that you've got the number of cameras and that you've got the right shots and you've done a shot list. I mean, I don't do shot lists of people in rooms and talking and whatever, but on those things, you damn well better have your shot list, because you're not coming back there, with 500 extras the next day.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that old story of John Ford on a script, the Indians take the fort. It's literally one line, but it took 2 weeks to shoot. And I'm assuming once you move that machine, to reset that machine, that's another day almost sometimes.
There's so many great stories about that. I won't bore you with them. There's a great one about David Lean, and they're setting off the attack on Aqaba, without the camera, without filming the cameras, and there's a book that I read by Rick Atkinson called The Army at Dawn. He's a Washington Post reporter and it's about the Allied. It was part of a trilogy about World War II, and it's about the invasion of North Africa, which was an utter failure. And it's about all the preparations they had to do to create amphibious landings. Well, they'd never done them before. What is an amphibious landing? Right. They had to invent the amphibious craft, and they had to understand about supplies and all of this. And it was about the redundancy of checking and rechecking and having these endless meetings with all of the departments and making sure that everybody's on the same page and being honest about what you can and can't accomplish. And what they discovered when they did the landing is they got it all wrong. But they never could have done D-Day if they hadn't fucked up so badly in North Africa. And so part of it is also making really stupid mistakes, as long as you then don't make them twice.
And that's pretty much filmmaking as a general statement.
Yeah.
To watch the rest of this interview, head over to indiefilmhustle.com.